Hey guys, the 2020 NRL finals are here, and last year when the finals hit in 2019, I did a video where I jumped on Rugby League Live 4 and I took the custom teams that I made early in the year and I saw who Rugby League Live 4 thought would win the premiership. Now I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure they didn't pick the Roosters, but you guys seem to like the video, so I thought I'd go back and I would try for 2020. The only difference was I didn't have 2020 teams already done, so I've gone to the Fan Hub, I've downloaded the teams that made the top 8, and I've sort of changed the stats to what I think. They're probably not exactly correct, but I thought I'd take you through all the rosters real quick, or at least just the 17, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going on competition mode, and I'm just doing a little simulation. I'm seeing who's going to win the premiership. So now in Rugby League Live 4, I've gone onto the Panthers side, the minor premiers. I figured I may as well do it in order. So here is the ratings for them. Now you might see like an 84, and then you see like a prop, like say James Tamu. An 83 for him is different to like an 83 for a centre. The stats are all different in terms of it, so it's all relative to the position. But you can see there, kick out, I should have actually changed him to a second rower, but there you go. Look, they're a very strong side. So that's the top 17 that I've picked for them. So that's going to be what they're going to be simulating as. So if you see the 17 here, that's going to be for all of the games. It's not going to be swapping and changing and injuries and that sort of stuff. This is just it. This is purely it. This is not necessarily the team they're putting out on the park this week, but it's probably what I think is their strongest side, barring injuries for people who've ruled out for the season. Next up is the Melbourne Storm. You can see the side here. You can see probably the centre is a bit of a weak point for them in terms of my ratings on here, but a very, very strong side. I've even got a pretty strong bench there, and I think guys like Finucane still aren't in the side there. It's a scary team, the Storm, when you actually see it on paper. You know they're good, but just them on paper is unreal. Next up, we've got the Eels. You can see there, King Gutho, and then the rest of the side. I don't even think Sivo was on the game when the game came out, which shows how long ago this game actually came out. Pretty strong side though, once again. I mean, they're in the top 4 for a reason. I see Nathan Brown, I think, is the pick of the lot there. Do only have him at 86, but like I said, he is a prop, so his 86 is probably like a 90 for a lot of them. But see there, Will Smith, he's on the bench at the moment. You can see the rest of them. The bench isn't exactly the strongest, and I know Alvara's not playing, but the dude who was playing, I don't even think he was on the game, or at least I couldn't find him anyways. Rounding out the top 4 is the back-to-back premiers. Can they go a three-peat? I don't know, but James Tedesco, I've actually made him the highest rated player on the whole game, 94 for him. You can see the rest of the side. I feel like Josh Morris, I could have upped him a little bit, but let's just leave that. Kyle Flanagan, relatively unproven, 81. I think that's alright for him. Luke Keary upped him a lot, 91. I think he's the highest rated 5'8". For me, Freddie Lussick, I didn't even know what to give him. I think I gave Sam Verrills an 80 last year, so Freddie Lussick can have 80 as well. The rest of the side though, very, very strong. Sonny Bill, he's not playing this week. He's not even actually on the game. This was just one that was in the side by default, so thought I'd give him a go. They had him actually as a 75, so I've upped him to an 83 because, I mean, he hasn't really had that big of an impact, and he's not even playing this week, so an 83 for Sonny Bill seems about right. Next up, we have the Raiders, Nicole Klodstad there. The winger, I don't really know anything about their winger at the moment because I suppose I think they're down to their like 3rd or 4th string, but Oldfield was on the game, so I've chucked him in there. Pretty similar. Rapana's obviously a winger, but he's in the centres at the moment. And I'm assuming till the rest of the finals, I don't really know. This is just the side I've run with. It's not that important, I guess. We've got Jack Wyden. I think he's the second highest 5'8", 89. Great player. Papali, second row in this game. Probably should have moved into a prop. Like I said, the positions sort of dictate the overalls, but I've chucked him in at 89. We've got Tom Starling there. Could have probably put him a little bit higher, to be honest. But the rest of the side are still a very, very solid side. And you see, I think they've actually got quite a little bit of depth too, even considering the injuries. So the Raiders, when I actually see their side, I'm like, damn, not a bad side. Next up are the Bunnies. We have Corey Allen there, 82. I didn't know what to rate him, considering Latrell Mitchell's supposed to be there. Latrell Mitchell, fantastic player. I think he'd be high 80s, even at fullback. But Corey Allen, he's been playing good as of late. I feel like 82 is pretty good for him, considering he hasn't been in the side that much, and he's a second stringer. Dane Gagai was a 76 before this. Just had to quickly go and change him. 86 seems about right. Campbell Graham. This Jackson Paulo, I don't really know too much about him. He's kind of a rookie, so 80, that seems about right. But Cody Walker, 88. I think I had him just under Jack Wyden. And then you have Adam Reynolds there, 87. Pretty solid. Wow, that's actually a really good half pairing. You got Tyler, you got the rest of them. Damien Cook at 90. Yeah, I think that's a very, very strong side. The bench is quite strong as well. I'm pretty sure there's someone else on the bench instead of Sally, but I've just chucked him in there. You get your Braden Burnses and all them. A few injuries to the Rabbitohs and obviously a lot of distractions at the moment, but a very, very strong side. Next up is the Newcastle Knights. We have Kalen Ponga there, 88. I feel that's about right for him. Maybe could have put Edric a little bit higher, but I mean, the rest of the side seems pretty standard. Mitch Pearce 86. You got Lino there, kind of unproven in the NRL. Kurt Mann, he's playing hooker at the moment. He's actually been pretty decent. Maybe I'm going to have him higher, but just because he's a hooker, I mean, he's not generally a hooker, so that seems about right. The rest of the side, like Chris Randall, probably could have put him a little bit higher, but I didn't realise he was actually in the side. I went through and I was like, oh shit, they've got a lot of injuries, and then he was there at 73, and I was like, well, he hasn't really played too much NRL, so probably not far off. But the rest of the side, I'm pretty comfortable with those ratings. Maybe Sione, well, actually probably Sione a fair bit higher, but the rest of them, that's pretty standard. Daniel Safidi, if I got him more than Clemmer? No, not more than Clemmer, but still quite high for a prop. Now rounding out the top 8, we have the Sharkies. So you got Will Kennedy. I had Corey Allen at 82. I've chucked Will Kennedy in there as well at 82. Just because, like I said, they're still kind of second stringers. I know Will Kennedy's probably more, the main fullback now, considering Dugan and Moylan's form. We see Dugan's in the centres. But Will Kennedy, I suppose you look at him as maybe a second stringer. I don't really know. But Katoa, Dugan, you got the rest of the side there. Townsend, kind of Tracy there instead of Sean Johnson. Actually pains me, considering how good Sean Johnson's been playing. So sad that the injury that he's got, but Connor Tracy's been alright. Ueli, I couldn't find him because I was looking for Hamlin Ueli, but he's Braden Ueli on this game. So there you go. You got Blake Brayley, you got Aaron Woods. What a fall he's had. I think by default he was like 88 in this game, but I've chucked him to an 83. Got Nakora for some reason a centre there. Look at the rest of the side. Sorensen, I don't really know much about him, so I've left him. But the rest of the side, I think it's pretty standard. You got Andrew Fafita, 85. Could be a little bit higher, could be a little bit lower. Same goes probably like Wade Graham. Could maybe put him a little bit higher, but he's just been injured so much lately, so I don't really want to put him too high. But yeah, there is the Sharkies, and that rounds out all of the squads. So you've seen all of the squads. Now it's time to simulate the games. Let's get to it. So how I'm doing it, I've got competition mode. I've loaded 8 clubs into there, or the top 8. No particular order, and then I've just simulated all the games. I've made them play each other twice, and the way I'm going to be doing it, so for the first game, Panthers play the Roosters. Panthers are the home team, so I'm going to find the game where the Panthers were the home team. I'm going to have them take on the Roosters, and I'm just going to find them and find the result of that game. So it might be round 6 or something in this, but that's the one I'm going off. Okay, interesting. I found the game where the Panthers played the Roosters. I'm not sure the timings on these games because it's a very weird scoreline, 15-2. But the Panthers picking up the victory there. Fisher Harris and Crichton scoring tries. Nathan Cleary kicking 3 goals. He's actually kicked a field goal as well, but he's kicked the penalty goal. For the Roosters, Kyle Flanagan kicked the goal, and Fisher Harris gets man of the match. So, look, I can actually see that happening in real life. Maybe not the scoreline, but I can see the Panthers winning kind of comfortably like they seem to have done in this game. So, yeah, Panthers are through. Roosters are into the elimination game already. Okay, so the second game for the week is actually Saturday. It's the Raiders taking on the Sharks in the elimination game. And you can see the Sharks have been eliminated. The Raiders picking up the victory 16-12. Pretty tight game. Whitehead picking up man of the match there. They see completion is quite good for both sides. But yeah, 16-12 seems like a bit more realistic scoreline than 15-2. But you have Whitehead scoring 2 tries. Oldfield scoring 1. Croker scoring 2. For the Sharkies, Rudolph and Mulatalo scoring, Townsend goal kicking. I don't even know who the goal kicker for the Sharks is these days, but I've just chucked Chatty Townsend in there, and he kicked both of them. So, goodbye Sharks, Raiders, moving on to the next round. So the next game isn't an elimination game, but it is a top 4 game. So it's the Storm take on the Eels. The Storm picking up the victory by 2 points. Asafa Solomona stepping in for the injured Dalphin Nukin as he gets player of the match there. Adokar scoring as well as Asafa Solomona, so that explains why he actually got the... he got the man of the match there. Bronco Lee, I don't know why he's kicking goals. Pretty sure Cameron Smith should be kicking goals, but there you go. Bronco Lee is the one doing it. Gufferson, King Guffo scoring a try for the Eels. Sean Lane as well, and no goals kicked. I know for sure Mitchell Moses is the goal kicker for them, so I need to sort that out because he could have won the game for him. Okay, here we go. Here's our first upset. We'll actually, maybe considering the news that's happened about Sam Burgess, and he's quite close to the Rabbitohs. He works with the Rabbitohs at the moment. He's on their coaching staff. But there's been a big scandal today that's dropped But the Knights have actually picked up a victory, 8-4. Mason Lino, who's probably one of the lowest rated players even in all of these teams, picks up man of the match, scored the only try. Callum Honga kicked the goals. Totola for the Rabbitohs scoring for them, but it doesn't matter. The Rabbitohs are out. And when actually simulated that whole competition, the Rabbitohs actually came out on top. So the fact that they've lost this game to the Knights, that is crazy in terms of the rest of the simulation. I think the Rabbitohs are probably going to win the whole thing. Now we move on to week 2 of the finals. The losers of the top 4 clashes, they move on and they're playing an elimination game, and then the winners of the bottom 4, they're going to be taking on those losers. So let's take a look at the first game. First up, we have the Roosters, who lost in the previous game, taking on the Raiders, who won. So let's see who picks up the victory. So here we have it. The Roosters, they've beat the Raiders. For the second year in a row, the Raiders have been eliminated by the Roosters. Isaac Liu scores a try, picks up man of the match. Very, very low scoring games. Maybe I should have extended it to like 80 minutes or something. I don't know if that would have even done anything. But yeah, Isaac Liu picks up the only try, a 6-0 victory against the Raiders. Just 6 seems to be the bad number for the Raiders. 6 again, 6-0 here. Raiders are out. I actually thought the Raiders might have beat the Roosters, to be honest. Moving on to the second game, which is the Eels, who lost last game, taking on the Knights, who had a big upset win against the Rabbitohs. Let's see who picks up the victory. So no upset for this one. The Eels pick up the victory. 11-4, another weird scoreline. Sivo and Wonga Blake scoring tries. Mitchell Moses kicking a field goal as well as 1 conversion. Ryan Madison, man of the match. Bradman Best, he's come back for the final, so he picked up a try for the Knights, but yeah, the Eels picking up the victory. I'm not exactly surprised, but after the Knights got the upset over the Rabbitohs, I thought maybe they could have done it against the Eels. But yeah, both of the top 4 teams move on to the preliminary final, so it's going to be a clash of all the top 4 sides. So the first game of the grand final qualifiers is the Panthers and Eels, and the Panthers absolutely whooped the Parramatta Eels. Liam Martin scoring 2 tries. What's all the forwards scoring all the tries? Jerome Luai scoring a try as well. Nathan Cleary kicking 2 goals. The Eels didn't look like they were even in it at all. And it's funny when you look at the actual stats of these, they look very similar, yet the scorelines are so different. But Liam Martin in the second row picks up man of the match after scoring 2 tries. So that means the Panthers in the grand final. Who does Rugby League Live 4 think the Panthers will play in the grand final? Okay, I was not expecting this. At all. Melbourne Storm, they've lost to the Roosters. I can't believe this. It's something that I can definitely see happening, but the Roosters making their 3rd grand final in a row, according to Rugby League Live 4. But Brett Morris picking up try, picking up man of the match too. Daniel Tupou, Kyle Flanagan. No Cooper Cronk, no worries for the Roosters by the looks of things. The real question though is, can they do it against the Panthers? That's the main thing. It's going to be a Panthers-Roosters grand final. Let's go ahead and find that game, and let's see who wins the grand final according to Rugby League Live 4. Now, setting against the fixture is actually the Panthers versus Roosters. I've already used that fixture. The Panthers home team, Roosters the away team. I know the grand final isn't exactly home and away, but I'd like it to look like Panthers are the first team. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to recreate the competition, and I'm going to use that one. So it's going to be a brand new scoreline. Otherwise, I think last time I just used the exact same one. It was the same result, so I didn't even notice, but I just used the same one. So we ended up getting the same games. You may as well just went back and watched a clip from a couple of minutes ago. So I'm going to make sure I don't do that this year. I've learned from my mistakes. So here we have it, the grand final. Panthers up against Roosters. I know it says round 2 there. It's at Panther Stadium, but trust me, it doesn't matter. I've got an unlimited golden point, all that sort of stuff. So Panthers up against Roosters. We're about to simulate it. Let's see who wins the grand final. Who's it going to be? 3, 2, 1, go. Panthers win 13-0. Panthers are your 2020 premiers, according to Rugby League Live 4. I think according to me, in real life too, I think I picked the Panthers. I think it's a pretty popular opinion at this point, just how the Panthers are played. But Jerome Luai scoring a try like he did in the previous game, I think. Mansour picking up a try. Nathan Cleary kicking 2 conversion goals and then also kicking a field goal. Man, they love these field goals in this game. I noticed this in my nice career mode. They were constantly kicking field goals. Scorelines are always like 15-0, 13-11. Just like ones where there's just always a random field goal. So 13-0 to the Panthers. The Panthers are your 2020 premiers, according to Rugby League Live 4. So that's who Rugby League Live 4 thinks is going to win the premiership. Who do you think is going to win the premiership? Leave in the comment section below. Are Rugby League Live 4 spot on, or have they got it completely wrong? Well, actually, I can see that being the grand final. The Roosters losing in the first week and then rebounding to come back and take on the Panthers in the grand final, even though that's not what I actually personally picked, but it's something that I can see happening. But yeah, I suppose the final series are kind of not a given, but they kind of write themselves. I feel like you can look at most matchups, and even in Rugby League Live 4, there weren't too many upsets. I don't think the only upset was the Knights beating the Rabbitohs, which at this point isn't really an upset. Even with all the injuries the Knights have, they still have a pretty formidable side. Rabbitohs got a lot of controversy at the moment. So yeah, that was really the only sort of upset. So even on Rugby League Live 4, they've sort of picked the stock standard results. So yeah, maybe I've done alright with the with the stats of all the players. Maybe I haven't, I don't know. But yeah, leave in the comment section below who do you think is going to win the 2020 Premiership. Anyways guys, that's from me in the video. If you happen to enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. Also make sure to turn on the notification bell while you subscribe, because if you subscribe, you see when I upload, but you don't know immediately. So you may as well turn the notification bell on. Also, while you're at it, you may as well go ahead and follow me on all social media. It's on the screen right now, Mr. Luke on YT. My Snapchat is also Mr. Luke on YT. I just don't show it on the screen. And my Facebook is just Mr. Luke, so search it up on there. Anyway, guys, that's from me in the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Stay tuned for more content as the finals goes on. I'm going to be making more videos. It's pretty much prime time to be an NRL YouTuber, so got to make sure I keep making those videos for you guys and I keep entertaining you guys. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.